I want to go on to some breaking news that came out since we've been live. We were going to speak about it anyway, but two big updates. First of all, from Fabrizio Romano, that Arsenal and Christian Norgaard have agreed personal terms. And Ornstein with a bomb says Arsenal are close to an agreement with Brentford for Christian Norgaard. The deal not done, but heading in that direction after an 11 million euro. I'm so confused why it's British to British. It's a British newspaper with a British journalist and we're using euros. I don't understand it, but 11 million euros, so about £9 million deal. Christian Norgaard, the agreement's in place for him to sign for Arsenal. They're just waiting for the done deal between the clubs so they can complete. Thoughts on this, gentlemen? Because there's been... Well, actually, we'll get your thoughts on the player first, because we'll go to the fan reaction a little bit later. Thoughts on this, because obviously what's been well documented is Zubimendi was coming in to be the replacement for Partey, the main man to hold the midfield. Partey was meant to become more of a fringe, not a fringe player and barely play, but more the Jorginho role, play slightly less football as he's getting older. That was the plan by Arsenal, to get Partey to sign a new deal. Partey decided he wants more money and doesn't want that role in the squad. So Arsenal, they've replaced Partey with Zubimendi already. They're now replacing the Jorginho role with Christian Norgaard, £8.5 to £9 million deal, 31. Prem proven, technically gifted, excellent availability. How good or bad is this deal in terms of Arsenal's summer window, Mo?
As a deal, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely fantastic. And everyone that is saying otherwise, it's the same as the Kepa deal. Can you get a better backup goalkeeper for 5 million? Absolutely not. Like, to be honest, at the current market, there's no backup goalkeeper. 11 million euros is about 9 million pounds. You cannot get a better player for 9 million pounds than Norgaard. Physical, good experience in the Premier League, old enough to be backup. And I think actually it's a fantastic sign. However,
by the way, another Fabrizio Bomba. Social media hint by Sesko as the striker has started following Arsenal on Instagram today. He just posted this like 40 seconds ago.
We'll come to that one. We'll come back to that one.
All Arsenal news right there. Go on, Mo.
Wow. But my point about this is that why are they letting Partey go? Maybe Partey doesn't want to stay at Arsenal. They don't want to offer him.
Liverpool is actually real.
I told you, might be. But in my opinion, I genuinely believe that this Norgaard thing is a very, very good deal for Arsenal. But let's all banter Arsenal and say Arsenal have downgraded. No, Arsenal have got Zubimendi over the line, and that is a very good signing for them. Now they need the backup, and the backup is Norgaard. He's better than Jorginho. The better option was just to keep Partey in the club to be backup for Zubimendi, or they can rotate between between Zubimendi and Partey. But that is not viable, because Partey is on a big wage. He's asking for a big wage to sign a new contract, and they didn't agree on a contract extension, so they went ahead and got Norgaard. And I genuinely believe that Norgaard is a very, very good signing for Arsenal. Everyone, the problem is rival fans just want to banter Arsenal. As I mentioned, like, it's all about the banter. No one wants to speak sense. This is a very good backup for Arsenal Football Club. It improves their squad over last season, because they had Jorginho who couldn't move. Now they got Norgaard, who's very good, physical, can move, can score goals from set pieces as well, and they can play him at the cup, and he's trusted. He's a very, very good player. I don't know why people want to banter Arsenal. Liverpool got Endo, and they played with Endo last season, and they won the league. And Endo's not better than Norgaard.
Don't ever disrespect Wataru Endo like this.
Yeah, you know exactly what I mean.
He puts in a mouth guard and makes 9 tackles in 20 minutes.
Bro, Norgaard is a very, very good signing for Arsenal, and everyone is saying otherwise. You just want to banter. You're not speaking sense. The club is not finished or anything. The club is not done.
I disagree with only 2 things you said. I do believe Kepa is a shit signing for Arsenal, and I said that because I don't even think he's a good backup. It's not about the money. I just don't think.
Is he better than Neto? Is he better than Neto?
Can I speak?
No, I'm asking you a question just for you to speak about.
But here's your problem. Your benchmark cannot be Neto.
No, that was their bench player.
Is he better than Mamardashvili? Is he better than Ortega? See, we can do this.
You spent 35 on Mamardashvili.
Yeah, we did.
They spent 5 million on the backup.
Yeah, money well spent, of course. A good signing.
Yeah, but they spent 5 million.
Is there not a
My
difference-
thing is with the Kepa thing. I don't have to agree with everything both of you say. The thing with Kepa, it's not about the money.
Sam, very quickly, and to ask you a quick question. Sorry, I want to go back to your point there. But isn't your new goalkeeper also eyed as the longer term replacement of Alisson as well? Is there a contrast there where Kepa clearly is the number one? They're not looking to. What I remember hearing, and I could be wrong, from Liverpool fans last year, is that your new goalkeeper was being eyed as the long term replacement for Alisson. So
yeah, but Alisson is the clear number one as well. The thing is, for me, look, here's the thing. Put the money to the side.
Answer the question.
I always look at it this way. Here's the truth of the matter. Let's say Arsenal are playing a Champions League quarter final away at Atletico Madrid, and Raya has an injury. Do Arsenal fans trust Kepa in that scenario? That's the question. Do I trust Mamardashvili? Yes. Do a City fan trust Ortega? Yes. So for me, I'm not looking at it from a money perspective. Yes, 5 million is a fantastic money spent in 2025. I'm simply talking about it from the perspective of I actually don't rate him as a goalkeeper. Now, when it comes to Norgaard, I do agree with you guys. I think Norgaard is a good signing for Arsenal because just like Zubimendi is a downgrade on Partey, Norgaard is an upgrade on Jorginho. He is. Norgaard is an upgrade on Jorginho. So I think he comes in, obviously Premier League proven. We have to keep the same energy. Premier League proven, just like Man United, we just said. He is Premier League proven player. And he definitely helps Arsenal in terms of depth. Like, let's say they're playing Leeds at home and they want to rest Declan Rice before a Champions League game, or they want to rest, someone like a Zubimendi before a Champions League game, or etc. I think that's O'Malley, do your research. Kepa was bought in and they trusted Lunin more. Come back when you know the full information. So as I was saying, I think Norgaard is a good signing for them. There's no need for us to sit here and hype him out a lot. Like he doesn't have any special traits. He's just an all-round, well-rounded midfielder. He has good traits on the ball, good traits off the ball. Just a good player. So yeah, I think it's a good signing for Arsenal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I look at it this way. I tweeted, I just replied to what Ornstein put out, and I think I wrote excellent signing. I don't remember now. I think I said excellent. I'm going to go check because I don't quite remember the exact words I used. I want to be accurate here. I said, and I quote, why can't I find my reply? Excellent deal for Arsenal if they get it done. I then replied underneath that because I thought I'll give it a bit more context because people will get angry. And I said that it's not a sexy name and should be Arsenal's, and shouldn't be. I wrote should. I meant to say shouldn't. I mistyped that. Shouldn't be Arsenal's key signing. And then in brackets, I wrote which it isn't. We all know this isn't Arsenal's key midfield or key summer signing. So that's the disingenuous nature of people having heart attacks over this, is that you're pretending and you're faking that this is it for Arsenal. This is the pinnacle of their window. I said, but he progresses the ball well, breaks up play, technically sound, prem proven, cheap. And I also made another spelling mistake. I meant to say, and something availability. I think I meant to say good availability. It come in as logos availability. I didn't obviously do a proofread before I posted this. Apologies. As I said, I'm not really sure why this would see Arsenal get bantered. And I am confused by it. And then what I've seen in the replies to me has very much been, but they're meant to be raising the ceiling. This doesn't do it. He's an average player. It's a downgrade on Partey. And I just think that rhetoric around this deal is so disingenuous. Someone responded with the Endo situation and said, Terry, nobody had this energy when we signed Endo, a Liverpool fan. And I said, you're right. But if all of us had watched more of Endo, our reaction may have been different. Secondly, you guys missed out on Caicedo and then got him. So, for instance, if Arsenal missed out on Zubimendi and then signed Norgaard, that's a very different scenario to bringing him in as a backup player. So I think, and I stand by my words, in the context of his age, ability, experience, and the price they're paying for him, it's an excellent little piece of business.
How old is he? 30?
31.
31.
Do you know what it reminds me a little bit of? And a Liverpool fan said, you'd never see my club do this. And I just replied with a picture of James Milner. This is he's not as versatile as Milner, but clubs have done this so many times in my lifetime where we need a fringe player. Arsenal themselves did it. Literally, this is like Jorginho all over again. It's a backup midfielder of a good standing. Now, some will say Jorginho, when they bought him, was better than Norgaard. That's open to debate. But for me, when I watched Norgaard play for the last few years at Brentford, rarely dominated, rarely outclassed, rarely makes a mistake. For a backup player, excellent. As part of again, if this is it, if they sign Zubamendi, if they sign Norgaard, they sign some striker you've not heard of, and they upgrade another kid from the bench to be the new left winger from the academy, I will agree, shocking window. But if they add the striker, if they add the Rodrigo, if they add another player somewhere else, a backup for Saka, then suddenly Norgaard becomes part of a very good collective window. And it's about the collective. It's how have you improved your team? I think Zubamendi is being slept on for some weird reason. When you guys nearly got him, Hussam, summer before last, the amount of gooners I saw back then make their own content and I'm pissed off. We should have got him. He's so good. The same guys are now saying we don't need him. He's overrated. He's not very. For me, I don't believe these. They may end up being right. They may end up, maybe he comes and he flops. I don't believe they believe that. I think this is people looking to be on a downer. I don't understand it. This isn't a deal that makes Arsenal champions of England. No soul on planet Earth is making that claim. Nobody. What this is, though, is as you boys have said, it's the last thing I'll say on it. It's a high quality squad player. But the problem you have is that people take the words you use. Terry, you said it was an excellent signing. I thought that Ronaldo to Real Madrid was an excellent signing. They both can't be the same thing. Well, of course they can. At the end of the day, when my 5-year-old daughter brings me in a picture, I tell her it's a masterpiece. And it is for the average 5-year-old, but not compared to fucking Picasso. Like, I don't understand why people have always got to try and turn things into what they're not. Norgaard is not the centerpiece signing. He is not the main signing. He is not the main midfield signing. Why are people trying to twist it into a deal like that is beyond me. My only answer is, well, it's Arsenal and everybody likes to shit on them and banter them for no reason. And this is certainly one of them for me. Good quality player, excellent signing at the price. Well done, Arsenal.
Fantastic. Like if Liverpool already have a DM like Zubamendi or have Declan Rice or something or Caicedo and you sign Norgaard, people will say, oh, fantastic backup. You're getting a great squad player. But because it's Arsenal, it's like, let's shit on them. I don't understand it. People just don't like I think Arsenal,
no one
Arsenal
just shits on Arsenal more. You guys
I'm gonna tell you the reality. I think what Arsenal should have done, I'm being honest with you guys, is they should have gone to Manchester City and offered them 150 million to get Rodri to add to their squad to raise the floor and the ceiling of Arsenal. I genuinely believe that. Maybe Arsenal should have spent 150 million on Rodri for fans to be happy. If you do that, a lot of people will say, well done, Arsenal, you're going to be champions. Yes, they signed Zubamendi, and I think the backup for Zubamendi should be Rodri. That's what, or they should go and sign Moises Caicedo. I think that'd be great for Arsenal, and everyone will be happy, and nobody can shit on Arsenal. I guarantee you that even if Arsenal do that, they will absolutely find a way to shit on them and say, why did you sign a 2 top DMs? Why don't you use the money somewhere else? But because they are trying to use the money somewhere else, people are bantering them. There is no win. Some clubs, there is no win. Same for Man United. There's no win. Oh, Man United are 15. It doesn't matter who you sign. You're shit. Same for Arsenal. Even if Arsenal signed 2 DMs, people are going to say, you should have used the money somewhere else. That's what they're doing. They signed Zubamendi for 50, 60 million. They're signing a backup player for 9 million. Now they're going to ship for a strike.
And this is it. They'll get Gyökeres. It'll be Portuguese goals. They sign Sesko. It'll be Benjamin Tesco. They sign Osimhen. It'll be why did nobody else big that wants him? And sometimes there's validity in people's claims.
Everyone hates Arsenal.
No, it's not so much that. It's, you know, me and KJ talk. Hang on a minute, please. Me and KJ talk about this a lot, where you sometimes want to talk about Man United and the amount of times. So when we first got announced, we were probably going to get in Burmo. The next 3 shows we did, all it was about was you're ruining the market, you're polluting this. How has it happened? Oh my God, the debt. And we're sitting there, and I was annoyed. I'm like, we haven't even got round to talking about the player. The goalposts consistent, and I've seen Arsenal fans online do this. They spent 9 months saying, get they wanted Gyökeres because they didn't think they were going to get him. As soon as it looked like they were going to get Gyökeres, they started finding holes in him. Then when it looked like it was going to be Tesco, they started bigging up Gyökeres again. And it's like there are certain, and it isn't everybody, by the way. There are certain people, some are Arsenal fans, some are rivals. Whatever Arsenal do, the same no matter what Man United do, they will always look for the negative. And it's jarring because I think what it does, it gets away from better conversations. And this is where Arsenal's haters are also missing an opportunity. So this is what I also think about the Norgaard deal, but it's, I suppose it's not surface level banter. Is this now what puts more pressure on the Cronkies and Arteta and Berta to land bigger and better players? Because yes, it's going to cost 9 million, but that is a drop in the ocean to the budgets of these big clubs. He is definitely going to be on, in my opinion, less wages than Jorginho and absolutely lower wages than Partey. That means there's even more money to spend on the left winger and on the strikers. So like you boys said, if United do get the striker and the goalie and the midfielder with what we've already bought, there's got to be pressure on United improving massively. That is where, if you really want to stick it to Arsenal, that's how you do it. Not with 5-year-old point-scoring banter of, but he plays for Brentford. What are they? I've heard Liverpool fans say that. Well, why would you buy a player from Brentford to improve your team? You man love Andy Robertson, who got relegated. It's horrible analysis. Unless you literally don't like the player and you can break down why. For me, if you're going to put pressure on Arsenal, well, hang on now. There's even less excuse because you've got even more money to buy the stars for the attack, the star here, the star there. That is where I would be putting the pressure on if that was how I like to conduct myself online. And I do. So for me now, my message to Arsenal, for whatever it's worth, is even less of an excuse to not go and get the best striker available. And we have seen the Šeško news that we'll move into. That's their choice. I think he's a very good player. But they have got the best available striker in the world bending over backwards to join them. They have to move on to that player. And I will criticize that. I think going for Šeško instead of Gyökeres is wrong. So Terry that never says Arsenal do anything wrong, I think that's the wrong decision. However, what I'm not going to do is lie and suddenly say that I think Šeško is a piece of shit football player who can't kick a ball, that won't score any goals. I don't think he's as bad as people are making out either. But I still think they should be going for Gyökeres. They've got the money now, especially with this really good cheap deal for an excellent backup player in Norgaard. But that's just me. That's all I'm saying, Sam. It's just tired. And do you know what it may be? Maybe this time round, everybody's right. But it's a little bit like the boy that cries wolf. It's the same response nearly every single time Arsenal or Man United sign a player. So sometimes you don't know whether people are giving real analysis or chatting shit because they say the same thing every time a player is signed. We all know how much Cunha and Mbeumo have been praised in the last 3 years by everybody in football. They become Man United players, and the amount of people you see, and you two didn't do it today, that now looking for the flaws and why it won't work. And it's just jarring every single time, for me personally anyway.